Hello, good evening. Good evening to everybody and to other parts of the world. Good morning. The other side in the Philippines, it's happy lunch. It's noon, 12 noon. Today is exciting day. We have a very, very wonderful guest. And then before anything else though, alam mo ba with Josh Andowitt is always on Fridays. And for North America, it's going to be, or Pacific, it's 9 p.m. And in the Philippines, it's at 12 noon. And you could watch us live on Facebook, YouTube, and the Amazon Fire TV station or channel, PHLV. Also, for those people who are not able to watch us live, you could watch us audio stream. It's live as well. It's on PH Radio app, and it's free on iOS as well as Google Play if you're using Android. And also, if you have Alexa, you could just say, Alexa, play PHLV Radio. And if you missed the program, this is going to be posted on our website, PHLV as well. You could watch it perpetually on those who missed it, so you could watch it forever if you want. Now, before anything else, before I introduce my special guest for tonight, and we're going to pick her brain, and among other things, and all the latest on what's happening with the Miss Universe world. There's an advisory that was sent to me today, especially those balikbayan or balikbayans who wants to go to the Philippines. Now, this is as of today. They are requiring a 14th-day quarantine, mandatory quarantine. In the past, those people who traveled last year, including myself, it was only for 7 days. Now it's 14 days mandatory. And how does it's broken down? Day 1, you arrive and you checked in. Day 7 is when they do the swab test in your hotel. Day 9 is when they release the test results. And then day 10, you check out of the quarantine hotel. Again, it's not 7 days anymore. It's 14 days quarantine. Okay, and people who can travel to the Philippines are only Filipinos with Philippine passport and dual citizens for now. And obviously, that's the reason behind that is the incident of virus or the pandemic is going up. So let's continue praying for our friends, family, and the whole Philippines and the whole world for that matter, so that this pandemic will be over soon. Okay, that's for the public address or public information. Now, this is so exciting. I met this special lady, actually their family, 2 years ago when we did a show in Florida. And I always wanted her to be part of a show or a platform. And I didn't know that one of these days she's going to be my guest. And this is so exciting. And we'll talk about her son as well and her dead ringer, Juan Rodrigo, good-looking husband, who is Dr. Larry. And I'll explain to you why I'm saying this, because I got a call earlier this afternoon here in LA asking if Kirsten is single. I said, yeah, she is happily married for 28 years. So anyway, without much further ado, let me introduce to you Kirsten Regalado. Kirsten is a world-class international fashion designer, and she is an Ilongga. And the interesting about her is she has a degree in medical technology. So I'm going to ask her, before I continue giving her bio, how did that come about, Kirsten? How from medical technologies to the world stage? What went on there?
So when I was a young child, I always dressed up my friends in a mock pageant. We always play like my role was always the fashion show director and a fashion designer. So back then in our country, we have really nothing much to do except use your imagination. So it was like so much fun with my friends. I love to gather them and direct them, in a good way.
But you're from Bacolod originally, right?
Yes, I'm very Ilongga. I was born in Bacolod City. I was born and raised also in a little town called La Castellana.
Well, what they said, remember? Pag basta Ilongga, guapa. And I heard that from Rabiya in one of her interviews.
That's the hashtag.
aside from being a Phil-Am now and living in Miami, Florida, she always managed to support and inspire people around her. And then she was the director, the fashion show director in I think it's 29, first ever Miami Modest Fashion Week, right, in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And you did that. And then Kirsten has always been involved in beauty pageants and always inspiring other people. At the same time, she's always managed to dress up. I'm going to ask you about that too, on how you get involved in all that, in creating this fantastic world-class design clothes for national costume of not only for Philippines, but other countries as well. I'm going to ask that as well or later. And then in 2019, last year, 2 years ago, Queen Beauty Universe, an international pageant for models, also known as La Reina Belleza Universo, which is a competition that originated in Spain, was held in Miami, Florida. Kirsten designed Miss Island's I think Lupine Flower, I think that's her name, and that won the best in national costume, and consequently Miss Iceland was crowned Miss Queen Beauty Universe 2019. Okay, also in the same year, which is 2019, she also designed the Miss Iceland in the Miss Universe beauty pageant held in Atlanta, Georgia. And Miss Iceland national costume was one of the top 10 in the competition. And I think there was 84 or plus candidates who exhibited that. And then this year, 2020, which is happening in her backyard, she will be dressing 3 countries: Miss Armenia, Miss Mauritius, and Miss Iceland again. Her fashion talent and expertise go far and beyond the pageant stage. Celebrity clients included family members of the famed fashion house of Gucci, ex-NFL player Jason Taylor, and Nickelodeon's Lilimar Hernandez as Sophie in the cable TV hit series Bella and the Bulldogs. This is the most interesting too. Kirsten is a recipient of Pagmamahal Award, which is the highest award given to a wife of a physician by the Auxiliary to Philippine Medical Society. On her personal note, though, she's been happily married. Okay, for those people who have been texting me earlier, she's happily married 28 years to Dr. Larry A. Regalado, and was blessed with a son, and that is, of course, my good friend Michael John Regalado, and you'll see him later, and we'll talk more about him later. So welcome, Kirsten. It's not Christine, it's Kirsten. Okay? And welcome to Alam Mo Ba with Just Andowitt.
Thank you, Josh. Welcome. Thank you for having me. Alam Mo Ba with Just Andowitt. I'm so excited to be here.
Okay, first question. Everybody's talking about Miss Universe. It's happening on Sunday, the 16th, in your backyard in Miami. Talk about, and I know you did a lot of things for our Miss Philippines Universe, Rabiya Mateo, which incidentally, thank you for doing the interview and for lending us the film and the video. Yes. And Michael, thank you for doing technically what I'm supposed to do. And you did a fantastic job. You guys, you have to watch this interview. It's a 3-part interview. You'll see it today in full color, and you'll see Michael and you'll see Rabiya. And there's a lot of things you'll know more about her if you have not been following her. Now, this is the time to know more about her. Michael did a fantastic job with his questions to her. And Michael, one of these days you'll have your own show as well with our station. First question. So when did you meet Rabiya? When did she arrive in Miami?
So before Rabiya came in here, the Team Philippines already contacted me that we will be hosting Rabiya. We will be the one to pick her up in the airport. And I think she arrived, I have to say, about 15 days ago already. Mm-hmm. That was so fast. So we gathered the team, we took care of the transportation, and we're so excited to just see her at the airport safely. That was, there's about how many? There's about 9 of them actually that came from California.
Including Jonas Gaffwood, right?
Including Jonas, we have Heidi, and the whole team Philippines.
So, did you guys put together because I know you mentioned it a backstory that it's a whole team that you have a whole team there that took care of them and housed them. Is that correct?
Correct. So they a few weeks before they already mentioned that they want to stay in an Airbnb, and they requested me to check the area if it's safe, and it's in Fort Lauderdale. So that I did that homework. And then we continue on communicating actually that, oh, this is the time. We will let you know the flight number. And they arrived 5, 6 in the morning. There was an early flight. It was a red eye. So me coming from Miami, I was like about an hour away from Fort Lauderdale. That includes the traffic. So we woke up so early. I have Larry, Michael. We have the Lutong Pinoy, Darren is also my friend. And we have Dr. Mario. So each one of us, we have to bring 2 white, 1 white and 1 black van, 1 SUV, and our car to pick the whole Philippine team. And Rabiya, she got about 20 luggages. That's a lot, but that it's for the entire team, and 7 carry-on, and what else? And them. So I think we organize it really, very good.
Well, you guys, those people who would not know Kirsten and the whole Regalado family, they always embrace the Filipinos. Even you guys did it for us as well. So I'm not even surprised. I think they did a fantastic job in finding you, because I know you have the heart. You could be in the States and you could be a Phil-Am. We could be living here for so long, but the heart of the Filipino is still there. We call it, of course, the Bayanihan spirit. And on top of that, Rabiya happens to be a little Ilongga, so that's an additional plus that it will be easier for her to communicate not only in English, but at least you guys could communicate in the language as well.
In Ilonggo. So when she came here, actually, we immediately speak in Ilonggo, and also Michael, my son, he learned Ilonggo. So nag-Ilonggo silang dalawa, and that's it was a really nice, warm welcome. So when they arrived here, what happened? Their Airbnb is not ready. So we have to do another option number 2. So we went to a beachfront restaurant. We had a breakfast there, and then knowing me, I cannot stay on the sun for a long time. I have to be like this one. So we said, why don't we go to Costco first? Before. We have to prepare them. So they went to Costco, and then after we went to Lutong Pinoy, and we stayed there until 4 in the afternoon, until the Airbnb is open.
Wow.
So we did a little, Michael sang a song for Rabiya. Lutong Pinoy prepared a very delicious meal for everyone. So we just a lot of photos, and it was so more of a family gathering. A very nice welcome for Rabiya.
I know, and then we'll play a clip later. You guys stay tuned, because there'll be an exclusive interview with Rabiya, with Michael, and then also there's a lot of things that you have not seen in other platform that Kirsten and Michael and of course Larry kind enough to share it with us. Technically, the Regalados, so I'm forever grateful. Now, this is one question I have for you, because I know you're dressing up 3 other countries, and just to let you know, you guys, not because Kirsten is dressing up other countries, she dressed up or helped Rabiya in some of her outfits, because I know she was doing some commercials and some shooting for Miss Universe, and that's a requirement. And talk us about that. And I know you lend or made her some outfits. We're not going to go with the controversial gown first. We'll do a separate on that one later. But I'd like you to walk us to the other dresses that you did. What happened? Why did she run out of clothes?
So this what happened, because Miss Universe, they did actually send out a letter to the national directors that they will be needing a white outfit, like a white top. Sometimes it happens in the world of pageantry. Like sometimes last minute they said, oh, we need this. Oh, we have to do this. So actually, the first one that I received a letter is from Miss Universe Armenia, their national director, Gohar. She sent me a message, and then she said, Kirsten, can you help me pick the white top? That's what they always, that's my role most of the time. Which one is nice, this or this? So I said, that one is nice for Monica. And said, I think Rabiya might be needing white too. So I prepared something in case they will call, and voila, they called and they said, Ate Kirsten, we need white. Do you have this? And this is the peg and this. And said, okay. So I went around actually to find something for her. But of course, because of pandemic, we don't have much of, even if you go to the store, there's so many, like not a lot of choices. But great thing I have white fabrics here, and I still have about 3 days.
So you created the whole dress for her?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
It was a white jumpsuit because I've been going around, and Rabiya is so petite. I think me and Rabiya were just like similar size, but she got a smaller waistline than me, of course. So I decided to make a white jumpsuit for her, and I said I will give it to you in 2 days. And they said, oh, we need a short, and we need this, oh, pink top, and this. So we complete all the combination, and we delivered it to her location in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh my gosh.
On time.
That's amazing. On top of the things that you have to do for her, you have to create a Kirsten Regalado design.
It was fun. It was like I feel like I was in a project runway. Like had to be done in 2 days.
Well, my other question for you, which is, and I see the thing is, remember I told you, we don't do questions here that we supply to our guests, because I want it to be candid as possible. You're dressing up 3 countries: Canada, Mauritius, and I think Armenia.
So I'm dressing Miss Universe Armenia, Monica Grigorian. It's her evening gown.
Right.
Miss Iceland, Elizabeth Huldas Noradotir, her national costume, and also Miss Mauritius, Vandana Jetta, evening gown and national costume, and of course Miss Armenia's interview suit and their emergency wardrobes, for cocktails, for dinner. We have everything packed that for them, and of course some of Rabiya's our Miss Universe Philippines.
Okay, my question to you is, how do you separate one country to the other? That's one, and then the other follow up there. How did they get to know you? I mean, because I know you dressed up Iceland before, so that's a done deal. But are they contacted you, or is there a directory on this? Because I'm so happy that your name is all over the place now.
So Miss Universe, there's always a national director. So each country, for example, St. Lucia, I dressed the queen before in Atlanta. They have a national director, Joycey. And then Armenia, they have Gohar. So each country have a national director. So the national director actually is the one that's communicating with me. And national directors, they're friends with each other. So when they see that you're doing a great job, they'll say, go to Kirsten, I like her. We talk like normal human being. So that's how we work. And also the queen, some of the queens, they messaged me that they said, Kirsten, I'm competing. I want you to be my fashion designer. So that's how we work. It's just like more of a referral system.
Oh. Now, where do you get the inspiration though? Because of course that's 3 countries plus Rabiya's. So how do you separate like Iceland to Armenia and to Mauritius? I mean, there has to be divine intervention.
So each one, I treat them special. And I study actually the country. For example, Iceland. There's so many inspiration there. They have the volcano. They have ice. Like I did the Snow Queen last 2019. Lupine flowers. They have a field of purple flowers there in Iceland. My inspiration, I got it from nature. I do believe that God is our original fashion designer. So I just get some swatches from nature, how to combine colors. And of course, it involves also the right team. I have Michael is helping me also with the research, and of course, Larry is my number one critic in a positive way. So we create each country special. Like Miss Mauritius, the very first time that the crowd really accepted the national costume of Miss Mauritius is when I did the Camarel inspired. They have the 7 colors of the earth of Mauritius. It came from a volcanic eruption. So the story of that is, of course, the volcano erupted, and then, of course, the soil, the sand turned into different colors. And it was so colorful, and our goal is to use recycled materials. It was a hit in Manila, the Mall of Asia.
Right.
And then what else? I did Miss Iceland. National director mentioned to me that in Iceland, it's also part of their culture, their history, that the men, they go to war or to hunt, and they left all the women. So the women are the one that's in charge of the land. So we created like an Amazon super superwoman there. So that's what I did in Las Vegas.
Oh, and then later you're going to show us is that the national costume of Mauritius?
Yes, that's.
Oh my God!
There's a story
you have
behind
to
it.
wait. You have to wait. You have to wait a little bit longer because we have a sneak preview, I think. And hopefully you don't get in trouble because I know the national costume competition will be next week, right?
Yes, and it's really tricky if you're gonna reveal the national costume before the finals or before the actual day. You are gonna be bombarded with positive things and also a lot of positive critics. So I take it all positive. So bring it on.
But that's right. That's a spirit. Well, what we're gonna do too, like I mentioned earlier, because I like the story on how it was created. I will dedicate a different separate show for that because I love how it came about, especially those paintings, those things that you put on that gown. We'll go in details on that next week because we need to dedicate something special for that particular because I love the kids and how they got involved. I think it will be a good message and it will touch a lot of people. Now, the other questions I have for you, how did you feel? A lot of people saying do you feel like it's a betrayal because you're doing national costumes and evening gowns for other countries and here you are, a Filipina. Don't kill the messenger.
All right. So for us Filipinos, we have, of course, our loyalties in the Philippines, but we do have international friends as well. So like countries like Iceland, Armenia, Mauritius, there are international friends, and they're actually part of our family, like our extended family. But each one, we always treat them special. So we have a lot of really positive things happening because we Filipinos were known around the world being hospitable and being so kind. And the country are actually, they're looking us up to they say, oh, Filipinos, they're so great with pageantry. We have to support the Philippines as well. So it's like a give and take relationship there. Actually, we don't expect something to get. We always give, but in return, you don't expect that they're just gonna, hey, do you need anything? How can we help you? And all you need to say is, thank you so much. You're so nice. Thank you for all your support. Because that's what they always feel. They're so happy to just seeing us work hard for them.
And remember, that's awesome. Remember what we talked offline a couple of days ago or by text? I wish the Miss Universe pageant would, when they do the gowns, if it's an evening gown or a national costume, they will put the name of the designer and the country where that person belongs to. I think because I keep telling you, the girls, they're the prettiest in the world. Of course, it's a representation, a representative of each country. But you guys create the gown, and it's really a competition of the gowns, and the gowns doesn't really, the girl can wear the gowns, but it's the designer that needs to have a credit for that. And I think eventually, hopefully, with the new management, the IMG of Miss Universe, they would take into consideration that, because to my understanding, there's so many Filipinos designers that are doing gowns now. I know Maxi Cinco is doing one for Miss Canada. You're doing 3 countries. And then I know some other people from local designers here in LA are doing the same thing. My follow-up question is, how many gowns or how many countries can you handle? And this is a good thing. If they watch, other countries will watch, can you do 10 or 3 is your maximum?
I think, well, as of now, we have, I cannot say only 3 because, of course, they have their special events.
Yeah.
So I also sent out how many, actually 2 gowns for Mauritius. So there's like, I sent out actually 10 wardrobes now, including the national costume. So in one country alone, they don't only need an evening gown and a national costume, they also need other wardrobes for their events. And it takes also time and preparation with all the love. So I can still take more. And I think our team is growing. We have such an amazing team. Even our seamstress, I really appreciate them, because this morning when I needed a wardrobe, I requested, can you just bring it like 9 in the morning?
Wow.
Who would ever work like you just give them the wardrobe to finish, the following day it's ready? It's just a quality kind of people that works around me, and I'm really grateful of having that kind of team that they will say they deliver. They will say, and when you arrive, it's already ironed, it's already hung, and all you do is pick it up, go to your car, say thank you, Nora and Irma.
Oh my God.
So they're really great. I trust them.
Wow. So you do other clothes for their own country competition, not necessarily Miss Universe. For example, it's a competition within their country. They call on you to create the dress too, because I've seen some of the pictures, and those are not the Miss Universe, Miss World, Miss International, but those are like domestic competition in their particular country. Is that correct?
Yes, and the best thing about living here in Florida, we do have a lot of pageants. If you think that the Filipinos, in the Philippines, we have, I'm not sure if I'm correct, if we have Philippine Fiesta every day, there's like a reason to celebrate every day. So we have fiestas. Here in Florida, we do have pageants, like almost, I don't want to say every month, but sometimes more than that. We always have pageants. So there's always a need for, there's always a demand for national costume, evening gowns. So we never run out of something to do here in Florida alone.
So the idea is, though, you're the major person who's putting this together, and then you have Larry to critique you. You have Michael to give some input. Do you have a think tank or like a group that? Walk me through the process. How do you come out with an idea? Is that something that you dream of? Is it something that you envision? You told me that you study the country and what it's about, but putting it together, it's not a walk in the park.
Well, sometimes when people are sleeping, I'm awake because you've been like, I don't want to say squeeze your brain, but of course you have to think and come up with an idea. But sometimes I also run out of idea, and I will say, Dad, can you drive me around, or can you bring me to South Beach, or I just want to go out and just enjoy the nature. When you're in the most relaxed stage, that is the time that great ideas will come in. I think I'm the kind of person that ideas come in like about 4 in the morning. When I have a good night rest and I wake up in the morning, I have a deadline, said, I found my eureka moment. I have to do that.
The aha moment. Yeah.
The aha moment. You have to do this. So
wow.
There are things that very difficult. I also tell my clients, this is very difficult. I need another team. So I connected with, for example, one of my projects, I need someone from an engineering department. So I contacted the school, the Polytechnic University, and they've said, "Oh, so you're Kirsten? Oh, absolutely. We're gonna give you our best student." So it's just like, oh, thanks God. All you need to do is just tell them honestly that the project is difficult, and then make a research, try to call, and sometimes all you need to receive is just yes or no. But most of the time you receive yes. So you have a great team. We work together, and my secret there is I take care of my team. I take care of the people that works around me. So next time when I need them, they will say, "Oh, I'm gonna be there in a minute." So we're a great family here. It's all teamwork.
I know I experienced that firsthand too when we did that show. It's unbelievable. You guys are amazing. Your team is unbelievable. I mean, it's like it worked like clockwork. Remember when you had that fashion show before our show? It's amazing. So you guys don't keep her a secret. Kirsten Regalado is the one. You have to see her design, and we'll feature that in next week. Some of your designs that you've done, not only for the Miss Universes, but there's a couple of designs you did in that show that is like mesmerizing, stunning, it's beautiful. But let's go now to that controversial gown, and let's clear it up because I was telling Kirsten when I was trying to contact you, you're very popular now across on all platforms because of this gown. Okay, your name came out on Pep, on Fashion Police, and all the other tabloids and newspaper across, online, offline, radio shows, TV shows, and they mentioned that gown, that's Philippine gown. So I'd like you to talk about that. We'll show that on that particular gown that Rabiya wore, and there was a lot of pictures that went around. The first question that people are asking is that the national costume Rabiya will be wearing for Miss Universe?
So the gown is made for her photo shoot in California.
Okay.
So it's not her national costume.
Okay, you guys, those people are bashing Kirsten. This is not the national costume that Rabiya will be wearing. And I got tired already of answering people on the messages that this is the national costume. You guys, hold your horses. This is just one of Kirsten's creation that Rabiya wore in California. Okay, now what's the take on this gown, on this controversial quote unquote Philippine gown?
So this gown becomes viral actually. A lot of since Miss Universe are so busy here, I never get the chance to check on social media actually, and I've been like working, and especially we're taking care of Rabiya here. It takes a village to build a beauty queen, to raise a queen. It takes a village.
Yes.
One of my friends, she texted me and she said, "Kirsten, I heard a lot of messages, good and bad, in that flag gown." She said flag gown. And I said, "Flag gown? I didn't make a flag gown." And then she said, "The one that's worn by a candidate." And who? And she said, "A flag gown." And I said, "Flag gown? The national, okay. Or it's a flag inspired. Okay." We keep on talking. And then she sent me all the snapshots and she said, "There's one guy that been so mean and saying that it's not complete. There's no stars. Where's the yellow? Is there something yellow? Where there's no yellow in the gown?" So I was like, I didn't really read her messages because I was beating a lot of deadlines. And she said, "Oh, this is the link, look, and read on the bottom." I never got the chance to read on the bottom because I was so busy. I just looked at the picture she sent me and then I went back working. So I just kind of ignored it. And then after a few days, I have a friend from Manila who sent me a review, and she said, "Kirsten, check this review. This is one of the best top review in the Philippines, and they gave your design a very wonderful review." And I said, "Oh, really? What is that?" So, I scanned it, said, "Oh, thank you so much." And then he kept on sending me a lot. And here comes the bigger networks who gave me all this really great review, GMA,
Yes.
positive. And I said, I'm in GMA? Really? I was like, because I was like, I always behind the scene. I'm just going to work behind the scene. So until my aunt sent me a message and she said that, is there any yellow in the gown? Are those beads yellow? And I said, no, they're silver. There's no
Yeah,
yellow
because
in the
people
gown,
are
they're
asking,
silver.
it's a flag, it's the red, white, and blue. However, I'd like you to talk about, because people are asking me, is Rabiya going to wear a headdress for the stars and the 3 stars in the sun?
Yeah, they're like a
As a wall,
basket.
that's a question we're going to ask the designer. So where the stars
So-
and the rays
So,
going to go to make it really a flag gown?
Yes, to make it a flag gown. But of course, the 3 stars is a representation of our Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, which is our
Right.
Miss Universe, Philippines, Rabiya Mateo. And her,
Yes.
her inner glow and outer glow is just like representing the Philippines. It's like a sun, like it beams and so beautiful. So I guess I told my aunt, Tita, is that a great answer? Are you happy? Because Rabiya is our star. The 3 stars is that's Rabiya. So
Wow.
that's my
Well,
answer.
So before we continue, there's a lot of people on the website. My gosh, it's Sandra from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Hello. Marky
Hi,
from
Tita.
Doha. Yeah. Oh, that's your tita. Okay, then I have
Yeah,
Marky
from
Entradito watching
California.
from Doha. I have Monica Buendia watching from Quezon City. And then Desi
Oh.
Santos, Quezon City, Joselle or Robel watching. And then I have Roy Nick Hernandez. And then Juliet Marcos, Liliw Laguna. Oh no, Juliet is from Banay Banay.
Wow.
Cesar Ong, watching from Quezon City. Connie Asuncion, hello, watching from Quezon City. And then Jerisa, watching from Quezon City as well. Hello, continue watching. This is so exciting. And we're coming out with interviews soon before we continue with that. Now, the other questions I have is, since that flag gown, shadow gown, national costume, so be it gown, it has grown and got, parang nag-evolve. So I'd like you to talk about that cake that was inspired by that gown, and we'll flash that picture as well. And thank you for sharing that, because that's a good story within itself. Because I know the creator is the champion from Food Network War Game, Cake War,
Cake Wars.
season 3. Okay, so talk about that. So where that came about, because that cake was inspired by your gown.
So the story of the cake behind is that I received a letter, or I received actually a message from Dr. Trans, and he said that, Kirsten, do you know there's an award-winning chef here that lives in Boca Raton, Florida?
Huh?
And I said, oh, wow, my reaction, wow. And then he said, he wants to make a cake that is inspired by your gown. That's Rabiya wearing your gown. That's the cake that he wants to make. And he said that he's also a PhilAm, by the way. And he said he wants to study, do a research regarding the color. He wanted to be exact, and also the beadworks and the lace and all these mini details. He wanna put it into the cake. So yeah, voila! On the last day, when Jonas requested me to go to the Airbnb to help them fix something with Rabia's wardrobe for Miss Universe, for Hard Rock, I went there, and then they sent me a message, Kirsten, the cake is ready. Can we go there? And I said, can you give me an hour? I'm still fixing something. I was like, busy focusing on what I should do. And then they sent me a picture, and I said, wow, it's so beautiful. It looks like Rabiya. And there is a photo frame that is also edible. So what he did is the cake, with my design.
I know, right there. We're showing it on screen.
Exactly. And then there's a picture frame, the picture that was taken by Philbert Kung, the photographer. And I was actually the one that surprised. I was like, I was really ecstatic and really, really happy about it. He really did a great job.
So the cake is edible. I mean, including the head and the gown and all that. Did you guys end up eating it, or did Jonas and Rabiya took it home?
Well, it's in the Airbnb. We brought it to their place. We had like a Filipino American. Actually, that was more of an American kind of a gathering because we've been feeding them a lot of Filipino food already. So they said, you know what, let's change it into American. It was actually credit to Dr. Mario Trans who like initiated that party, the mini party. But the cake, the only thing that's not edible is the doll.
Yeah.
And the chef said it took him also a while to find a doll that's similar to the skin color of Rabiya. So he said everything is edible. And he said you can eat yourself, the picture frame.
Well, you know what? The funny thing is, I think because of that inspiration of that gown, I will not be surprised. I heard some people already talking that there might be a Rabiya doll. I wonder how they should contact you. You should get novelty for that gown.
Yeah, it became so popular. And even my American clients, they've been like calling me. They said, Kirsten, I saw you in this channel and I saw your design. It says Kirsten Regalado, the Philippine flag inspired gown. And they said they love it. I think everyone just appreciate our culture so much. And I'm very, very grateful for that.
And I what comes to my mind is people or other countries or other national director will be calling you soon and say, "Hey, Kirsten, can you do a gown for say France and say other countries like Peru."
Peru.
I
think that would be amazing.
That will open more doors for you. Like, okay, you will be called now the flag lady.
Wave your flag, raise your flag.
I know, right? Now, this is the other question before we go to the interview with Rabiya.
Okay.
Now that you met her and you've been with her in and out, and you got to, how is she really as a person? And I know I'm putting you on the spot, but how, aside that she is Ilongga, how do you describe her as a person that you met?
So I just have to say my first impression.
Yes.
She's a warm person. Like when you see her, she's very articulate. Actually, I spoke to her actually the whole time I was sitting just next to her, because we actually like closed the restaurant, so we have more of a bonding time, sister time, family time there. So she was. She said, while we're eating, she's also giving me food because I was in the corner. She's giving me food. And then I was like, oh, thank you. So she gave me food. She gave food to everyone. It's like your sister, like a longtime friend. That's my description. Uh-huh. Very articulate, very good with interview, actually, because, of course, Michael John interviewed her. I listened. I also asked her many questions. And then I've been to Airbnb many, many times.
Yes.
So I always see her. I fitted a gown. And, when you're wearing a gown and we're sewing on your body, it was difficult, especially you're wearing heels. So you will see the patience of a person. Like if they're short-tempered, they will say, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. But she was like, I'm okay. I never heard her any complaint or, so much patience, so much kindness in her heart. And the way she talks, is just, she tells you a story. And I'm the kind of person that when you tell me a story, my imagination, I can imagine what you're telling me. So I like to talk to her, actually. She's a great conversationalist. not aggressive, but more on a, like intelligent kind of, but fun, like happy, light. That's how I describe that one with Rabiya. I think she's going to be great with Q&A as well.
Well, we'll see that later for that interview. It's a 3-part interview. You guys watching on right now online, watch for that interview and you'll know more about Rabiya, because Michael John did a fantastic job. I could not have asked for anyone else to do that. It was spontaneous. Rabiya, you will see that side of her that people were criticizing her right after she won Miss Philippines Universe. But you'll see how the transformation and how she is now, and that interview that Michael John did, you guessed. You guys be the guest. Now let's talk briefly about, because we're gonna have a special session dedicated for that sneak preview of Miss Mauritius gown that you created for her, exclusive for her, this coming 2020 Miss Universe beauty pageant, that to be held on the 16th. You guys, people, watch this particular segment, because you'll see the gown that will be in competition, right?
Yes.
And then thanks Kirsten for giving us this exclusive insight or exclusive view, really, of that gown, the competition gown of Miss Mauritius. Let's describe it. So this is a sketch. Kirsten?
Yes.
This is the okay.
Yeah, that's the gown.
So from the sketch, Kirsten, can you describe that? Is that the headdress? And is that?
Yes. So the story behind that is one of our partner organization. We have Champions for Champions, serving children with special needs. And also our princesses from Miss Worldwide International. We have princesses from 3 to 10 years old. And one of them, his name is Jasper, he mentioned to me that he wants them to be part of Miss Universe. It's one of their dreams to be part of Miss Universe. So I said, what is the best thing that I can do as a fashion designer to involve the children to bring their art to Miss Universe, on the stage of Miss Universe? Because whenever he see me, Jasper, he say, pageant. He always do that. And then these children are so talented, and we decided to have a weekly art class.
Wow.
So every week they have a drawing, and the Champions for Champions, they also have an art instructor.
Right.
And they coach the children, but I was really surprised that the drawing was so elaborate. It's so beautiful. So I gave them a homework and I said, okay, I'm going to give you a deadline. Your homework is you are going to give me an inspiration.
Right.
What is going to be our design for Miss Universe? So they draw turtles, some fishes, sharks, different kind of fishes, and then someone draw a sun, wind, and corals. So I thought, all right, that's a lot of inspiration. And then someone draw Nemo, and I said, okay, what are we gonna do with this? So we work with an artist. His name is Adonis. So he helped me collaborate everything. So we created that. That is our final look for Miss Universe Mauritius. That one on the other mannequin is the headpiece, which represents the sun. The one on the bottom, it's the fan, which represents the wind, and of course the body is the ocean-inspired national costume for Miss Mauritius, because her advocacy is saving the ocean. Because Mauritius is a tiny island; it's surrounded by water. So
Right.
that's one of her, top advocacy, and that's the story of her national costume.
Wow. See, I already have someone here from Mary Guzman from San Francisco. Wow. Beautiful gown. Cute and elegant. I hope my daughter can wear that on her 18th birthday.
Aww.
See, I'll send you the contact information, you guys. Just text me. I'll give you. And Kirsten, you'll give us your contact information later after the interview of Rabiya. And so at least people can get hold of you. And they don't have to pass me, because or else I'm going to be your agent.
Yes, that's all right.
And happy
how we
viewing
adore
also
you.
to Juliet Marcos, to McCoy and Trudicho, Gina Marcos from Laguna as well. Who else? Ronald Buendia, Quezon City Project 7. Timmy, hello Timmy, Santella, watching from Quezon City also. Okay, now, before we proceed to that interview with Rabiya Mateo, I'd like to know, and I know I'm putting you on the spot, because I know you met with Miss Iceland, you met with Miss Mauritius, you met with Miss Armenia, and then of course you met Miss Philippines. What do you think is Rabiya's chances for the 5th round?
We have a big chance, actually. I haven't seen the whole candidates. I haven't seen the entire delegate, but I really believe that Philippines, we do have a spot this year for Miss Universe 2020. She's strong, great with interview. I believe that the interview plays a very important role, not only on the physical, but that's actually one of the first things that the judges will see you. We have a panel interview here in Miss Universe. So you have to be very articulate and very strong with that. So I think I'm giving Rabiya a strong point for interview, not only, of course, the beauty.
Thank you for that insight. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will not put you more stuff to talk about, but we're gonna proceed now to that interview that was done in Miami, Florida, but by Michael John Regalado, Kirsten's son. And you guys judge for yourself how Rabiya answered those questions. Those are impromptu questions. Those were not questions that were given to her, and you'll see how she answered it, and we'll see how it has an indicator, or it's an indicator on how Rabiya would be doing her Q&A on the closed door interview, at least to give you an insight. And thank you, Kirsten, for sharing that video to us. Much appreciated. And then
You're welcome.
Yeah, and then Michael, thank you so much. So without much further ado, Kirsten, just stay put. We'll go in. We're coming back, because we're doing it in 3 segments, and then we're gonna talk a little bit of that, and then I know a lot of people across the globe are asking for this interview, and they want to see how she fares with these questions that Michael threw at her. Okay, let's roll VTR.
Hello, Rabiya.
Hi, Michael.
Thank you so much that we have the opportunity to have this chat with each other.
Well, thank you for having me on your show.
Well, I hope that so far you've been settled in here in Florida.
Yes, I actually arrived here around April 9, and it's been a while. But, it's so sad that there's still a pandemic out there. That's why me and my team decided to still, to isolate ourselves as much as possible. But good thing, I met some Filipinos living in California, and thank you so much to you and to your mom for helping us here settle in Florida. Thank you so much.
Of course. So we're here at last, about a month away from the competition.
Yeah.
Yes. So right now you're in quarantine for 14 days because Miss Universe takes things very seriously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So can you tell us a bit about how you travel in this pandemic?
Now every movement is restricted, I must say, and it's understandable. It's 2021 is different from the past few years. That's why I really need to be extra careful, I must say. And at the same time, the good thing is at least we can use technology into our advantage.
That's right.
I've been training for most of some aspects in the competition, like Q&A, what else? Makeup, hair tutorial. I'm doing it online, which is still helpful. I mean, it's different, but you really need to be motivated. You really need to want the crown for you to have that thirst, that hunger.
That's right. So can you tell us a bit about your preparation for the crown?
So now I have a busy schedule, I must say. When I wake up in the morning, I would do my hair and makeup. I would do some shoots in relation to Miss Universe requirements. Or we're also actually filming following Rabiya, which is about to be in public. Just wait for the announcement. And I'm very much excited because this is once in a lifetime opportunity. This is gonna be the time of my life.
Oh, is that going to be after or before the competition?
Actually, it's the preparation. You know, the competition, the pageant is gonna be in one day, but the preparation, it takes months and months of training, not just physically, but also mentally. I actually have my own life coach just to settle everything in its proper place. And I appreciate the organization for helping me because you know what, Michael? This Miss Universe Philippines was my first national pageant ever. So everything is new to me. I'm so naive in this world, in this industry.
Yeah.
But every day I grow, every day I improve. And it's a wonderful experience that I can share to my future children.
That's amazing. Yeah, so like you said, this was your first pageant, and it's amazing how far you've come. I congratulate you for that. So I would like to ask you, for people who aren't into pageants, in your experience, what was it about pageantry that got you into it?
It's actually the fact that you can touch a lot of lives. I remember I was in high school when I saw the interview of Venus Raw. And from there, I can see myself. I was once like her, who had humble beginnings, who grew up in a province, who is so naive. But it's all about the growth and the kind of inspiration that you give to people, especially in the Philippines. We are a pageant-loving country.
Absolutely.
So I aspire to share the stories that I have, the struggles that I have, because that is not just my story. It can be, you know, the story of a lot of young children.
That's right.
Who wanted to go out of poverty, who wanted to be an achiever in life.
Yeah, so hopefully a few little girls or little boys out there can be in the same position as you were in the past, and they could look up to you as a role model.
Thank you, Michael.
Can you talk a bit about what activities have you done after you won Miss Philippines crown, how you've influenced and used your voice?
One of the most beautiful things about being Miss Universe Philippines is that you get to work with different local government units. So I've been able to travel all over the Philippines, of course with the restrictions, not as much if there's no virus out there, but I was able to see different communities. I was able to see the situation of people there, to extend my help. And then I realized that yes, beauty pageants are relevant because as a beauty queen, I'm not just the image of the organization, but I am there to help people. I am there to bring hope, to bring motivation, to bring inspiration. So that is like a wonderful experience.
That's amazing.
Well, there's the first part. Now, Kirsten, firstly, let's give credit where credit is due. Thank you again for allowing us to show that. And Michael, you did you're turning to be a pro, bro. Michael John, amazing, good questions. Those are questions that I myself would also ask given the chance. And then also a special mention to the videographer, Diane. Is it Bugay or Bugay? Bugay.
Yes.
Bugay, right?
Diane Bugay.
Yeah, there's part 2 of this, but we're gonna show that. But I'd like to ask first on the background. Whose house is that? Is that your home, Kirsten?
That's in Fort Lauderdale, where Rabiya stays. It's an Airbnb. So that place, the whole crew just set it up. My friend Susie and Shella brought the orchids, and then they just put the tables there and just make it in an instant studio. So you know how Filipinos are so creative. So
Yes.
instantly we have that nice background there with the Florida feel.
And you could tell there's a plane while we're doing the interview. A plane passed by.
The plane passed by, and while they're talking, we're just like, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna stop, or are we gonna keep on rolling? But we just kept on rolling.
Well, the good thing though is like you could tell she's very relaxed, and then of course Michael was just throwing question one after the other, and you could tell how she answers those questions. It's coming from the heart.
It's not rehearsed. It's like
Yeah.
they just like, okay, you sit there. What's my frame? And then continue, bam, question after question. So I
Right.
think she did a
Amazing.
great job.
I know. Well, both did a great job, and they look good together.
thank
Rabiya did a fantastic job as well with her answers.
Mm-hmm.
And then Michael, it's. I need to put that guy on as guest one of these days because I know there's a lot of
Yeah.
people
Well,
asking.
you're mentoring him. I think it's gonna be amazing. You know, it's great. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, and people need to understand because just to give the side info on Michael. Michael is single, you guys. He's single.
Oh.
And he just graduated. Well, he finished biology,
Yes.
physics, right?
Mhm.
And then he's doing a lot of coaching on the side, and hopefully, I think last time I talked to him back in Florida 2 years ago, I know he wants to be a doctor, but I think right now he's doing more on coaching and helping other people to be successful. And to my understanding, he's doing stocks on the side.
Yes, he's great with numbers. He's very
Wow.
fast. He doesn't even need a calculator. Just gonna do that, and then he's gonna solve the problem. He's good with strategic planning, actually.
Wow, and that's good genes from Larry and from you.
From the
You can
dad.
go. Let's go with part 2, you guys. This is the continuation of the Rabiya interview.
One of your advocacies is that you're very big on education. And
Yes.
one of the challenges today with the pandemic is that everything is online. What would you say would be one thing that could help a lot of the educators out there? Let's say if the government can provide supplies.
Actually, because of this pandemic, the inequities in our society was highlighted. So we can really see the difference between those students who are privileged enough to have internet access, to have gadgets, laptops, to sustain their education. And thinking if it happened to me when I was still studying with the situation of my life, I wouldn't be able to push myself, to finish what I have. So this is not just the obligation of the government. Of course, they really play a big role, but we need to have a holistic approach in this kind of problem for us to minimize the inequities in what we have. And you know what? I also appreciate some local government units in my country where they really provide laptops to those individuals who come from poor families. And I hope that would transpire from one place to another.
That's amazing.
Can you imagine if we were able to help these children, to provide, to motivate them? Because I know some of them have lost hope. I've been in Bohol and I've been talking to some children there, and they are really having a hard time
Yes, it's very
adjusting themselves or to what we have right now.
That's right. What would you have to say, one lesson that we can take away from this pandemic, something positive that resulted from this, you would have to say?
I know it's hard, and sometimes to be positive in the darkest moments is one of the hardest aspect of having that proper mindset. But one beautiful thing that I saw in the situation that we have is that people can really be kind. For the longest time, I've seen how humanity became selfish, putting our personal interests on top of everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But because of this pandemic, privileged ones were able to extend something, even in their own simple ways, to the poorest of the poor. And hopefully, even we don't have any pandemic, I hope that we still continue to have that spirit of kindness,
Yes.
that sense of altruism, and generosity is indeed contagious, and we need to continue that. We need to transpire that, because by doing such thing, we are uplifting the essence of humanity.
Wow, such a very kind message. Thank you for that.
Wow. Uplifting the essence of humanity.
How
Wow.
strong is that?
Yeah, that's a
Very
quotable quote
positive.
already as it is.
Yes.
Similar to Catriona, and then giving smile into their faces, as well as confidently beautiful. Wow, that was amazing. And you know what's impressive? And I know I'm giving praises also to your son, because those are in production, except like now and when we do production, there's always cue cards, or we call it an idiot board, or a board where all the questions are written, and you just, as an anchor, you just read through it. Michael did a fantastic job, Michael. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Is it
he just did it. We're on the way to Fort Lauderdale.
Mhm.
I was driving and he said, "Oh, let me just come up with a question first." So he just like, "Okay, are you done?" And he said, "Yes." And then he just like did
Yeah,
that
I
quick.
do think it's not, it's not, sometimes when you do interview, you go from one end to the other and then you go back. But this one, he came from things that he would like to know or people would like to ask, and then Rabiya was answering the question, and of course it's not rehearsed because I got the raw tape on that,
Yeah.
and then we fused it together. But I know it was a long tape, and then we cut it and splice it, but there was no cut in between where they have to repeat the question and Rabiya has to answer. So if this is an indicator of Rabiya's performance in Q&A, this forthcoming competition, I think I will go with your prediction. She has a good chance.
Yes.
She has a good chance, really, because like we all know, Q&A, the closer Q&A would give you the first, I think, 15 candidates, top 15 candidates per region, and then of course there's the vote that Rabiya will be asking us later, and you and I will be discussing that. Now, before we go to the last segment of that interview, we were talking earlier prior to us getting online. So I know you took Rabiya to the hotel for her to check in, because you guys remember she arrived earlier than anyone else, and then she spent time in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, and then there's a chance for them to go around first, but because of a pandemic, they have to stay in the hotel, right? And then on top of that, there's a specific time and date that they can check in to the Hard Rock Cafe hotel in Seminole for them as candidates, and that's where the competition would start or will begin. Now, walk me through the process because I know your family and your team in Florida took her, Rabiya, first, right? Before the other three countries. So what was the reception then? Was there a lot of people? Things like that. And I know you have the inside information on that. What happened when you took Rabiya there?
So actually, with the team, the last time they are actually ready. They're prepared. Actually, that they've been in quarantine for 14 days already. So what they did the whole time is practice, take a break, exercise. Those team that's in the Airbnb, they rented a bike. And then they've been I think biking around, running, walking, exercise. That's their exercise. Getting a lot of Florida sun. That's one of their. I think they're really just having a blast there. And of course, they focus on working on the side and focus on the interview and walking and the runway walk. They did all the rehearsal there and whatever they need to bring in the hotel. Going to the hotel, actually, it's the Team Philippines that brought Rabiya there because that day I pick up Miss Universe Mauritius is already with me in the car, and then I need to pick up Miss Universe Armenia at Fort Lauderdale International Airport at 3:30 p.m. And then I need to bring the two queens to the W Hotel. So I think Rabiya and the Philippine team, they checked in about past 8 p.m. I arrived there at the hotel actually at about 9. So Rabiya checked in ahead of us. That's what happened.
Now, you mentioned W Hotel. Is that where all the delegates or the candidates are housed, or they're all housed in different areas or different hotels? Is that something that our viewers can know, especially the locals?
All right. So Rabiya, she stayed in the Airbnb. It's just probably 20 minutes away from the Hard Rock Hotel. The W Hotel is the hotel that I selected to bring Armenia and Miss Mauritius because it's an ocean front. So it's nice for them to feel the water. Like, when you come here in Florida, I think it's important to get the sun and the water. And Hard Rock, they do have like an artificial pool, but it's not an oceanfront property. But it's a beautiful property, by the way. Yeah. And the hotel, it's shaped like a guitar. How can you not enjoy that with all the light shows and all this amazing bands that's playing there? So, but we just decided, you know what? Let's take a break. We're not gonna bring them straight to Hard Rock because they're gonna be staying there for more than how many days? So let's bring them to W Hotel. So when I check in at W Hotel, I mentioned to the front desk that, I have a VIP, I have 2 Miss Universe delegates. Can you bring us to the top floor, the one that's facing the ocean? So that's what they did. They helped us and they gave us a very nice accommodation actually. And what I did, it was also the first time that Miss Armenia, the very first time that she's gonna fit her evening gown. So I was like, hopefully it will be like flawless. We don't need to do repair. So, and thanks God, it fits her well and she loves it. She's so ecstatic.
So my question would be, when they checked in for that hotel, are they all going to be housed in one hotel at the Hard Rock?
Yes, all in one hotel.
One hotel. And then I know you mentioned in passing, when we were talking like a week ago, I know you got a VIP tickets and VIP accommodation. Yes, I'm so jealous and envious. And I know we will ask you to be our eyes and ears during the competition because you mentioned you're gonna be there starting Monday.
Yes, on the 10th. I'm gonna check in early.
Oh my God, that's
10
so
to
crazy.
17. That's a long time to be at Hard Rock. It's gonna be my mini vacation, I think. Of course, with the family.
Yeah, but still, it's gonna be work for you. Do you still have to make any adjustment with the gowns and the national costume that you did?
No, actually, yesterday was my, the biggest challenge of my life for Miss Universe 2020 because I handled 2 candidates because I took care of Iceland already. Yeah. And then, of course, Philippines, she's all set. And then here comes Mauritius and here comes Miss Armenia together. So I think that was the biggest challenge yesterday.
Well, the funny thing though is like once they do the Parade of Nations, at least they're spaced apart from each other. You could cheer for Armenia first, and then you could cheer for Iceland, and then you could cheer for Philippines, and you could cheer for Mauritius. Oh, Mauritius!
I'm gonna be bringing 4 flags, or maybe 5 or more. So when it says Armenia, I bring Armenia flag, and then Iceland, Mauritius, Philippines.
Philippines has to be the bigger flag. With the streamer and with all the trimmings and all.
Yeah, the big flag. I'm just gonna conceal it because actually big flags are not allowed. Because
really?
When you lift it up, people behind you won't be able to see it. But I think we have a very special seating, by the way, for VIPs who will be sitting in a booth. And I checked my seating area. I was like straight and center without the camera, nothing. It's like a very beautiful view. It's only 2 in each pod. They call it a pod. So there's 2 of you.
Yeah, because
then there's gonna be another social distancing in each, like far away. Yeah. And then they have actually like 2 different kinds of VIP. The first one is the Diamond, which is the top VIP. Yeah. The other one is the IV, which is the fun experience. So you get a chance to have, of course, a nice seating, and then a cocktail hour the day before. But this diamond package that I have, I get a chance to be with the candidates. And of course, they have the cocktail hour. I also have the national costume, it's included, and then the prelims. And I think I have to check if we're also with the dress rehearsal. I think with most of the candidates and most of the events happening and and the Hard Rock. So it's a great package.
And you guys who are watching and will be watching this on tape, we will have Kirsten promised me already exclusive, and we will have an update every day, and then we'll put that together and show it to you, because by the time next Friday when we have Kirsten, we will have some information on that as well, and then that will be an interesting. And how much is the ticket now? I mean, are they sold out? Because I know all the VIPs and all the good tickets are done, are sold out.
Last time I checked with the Ticket Hub, that's a ticket that, they do resale. For example, you want to resell your ticket, it sells up to $8,000 already for the VIP. Yeah. And some of the regular, the IV, the fan experience, they're selling it for $2,500 to $2,999. That's the last time that I checked for each person.
Wow. And how many tickets did you get?
So you really have to strategize when here's the trick. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, I missed the ticket. I wasn't able to buy a ticket." There's always a technique for that. I have a friend. He is very resourceful, and he's been, 10 minutes before 10. Make sure you already have your credit card with you. You already have opened the Ticketmaster. And then make sure you already have your account. All you need to do is click the one you want, and then go to the cart immediately. Don't go back. Never go back, because someone can steal your the one in your cart. So some people are very, very smart. They can take that from you. So you have to just, I have to be absolutely want this, and then pay. So you have to strategize. Don't say that, I'm going to buy 10 for my friends. That's going to be impossible. Unless you're very, very, very good with that.
Well, what's the atmosphere now when you went there to take Miss Iceland and Armenia and Mauritius? What was the atmosphere? It is just like here when they do it in Las Vegas or in LA back then, it get crazy. I mean, it's the Miss Universe fever.
So when we arrive actually at the Hard Rock, we have this special paper where we're gonna check in on another side of the building. So some of the Filipinos actually, they've been calling me, but that day I was so busy, I never got the chance to even read my messenger. I have like more than 100 messages. Kirsten, where are you? Where are you? Because they said, we're gonna follow wherever Kirsten is. But I never have a chance to like post on my Instagram where I am. It's just, I was so busy like doing the fitting with Armenia and Mauritius. And then there's like one friend who say, I know you're here. I think you're gonna be here. And I was like, we bump each other in the hallway and said, I'm not stalking you, Kirsten. I just like have a feeling that you're gonna be here at W Hotel. So someone saw me there. That she said, oh, can I have a picture with Armenia and Mauritius? I said, yeah, go ahead, take a picture, but wear your mask, because we have to make sure that our candidates will not be, just protect them. Because once they detected the COVID, you're positive, you won't be able to compete. So each one of the candidates, especially, of course, the Philippines, is the most, I have to say, following the protocol. They're they're really into this. Because some of the countries, they say, you know what, let's just go there without masks, we're gonna take our chance. But Philippines, they're like really like focused on the game. So me as a host, I'm also very careful. So I have to prepare also the delegate that make sure we won't be contaminated or anything. So when we check in at Hard Rock, we have a secret passage there at the back. So there are a lot of fans that waited at the guitar. I don't know who is that person who told them go to the guitar, because they thought that the delegates will be checking in as a guitar, because at Hard Rock there's like about how many buildings? I think there's about 3.
Yeah.
The old one, the first building, building 2, and then here comes the guitar, beautiful shaped guitar. That's where you're gonna stay. They stayed there. Some came early morning, like probably 9 or 10. And then some, they said, you know what, there's no more delegates. Maybe they're not here yet. And then they went back and they stayed up to the afternoon. There's no queen there, actually. The queens will be staying at the building 2 in the old building. And we passed by in a concealed entrance behind the building in a ballroom. And the only thing you'll see are luggage carts. And that's the indication that's where the delegates are checking in. But I think Rabiya, they pass on another side because they're able. I saw that they have in the hallway, which is perfectly fine. You can also pass there. So you have choice where you're gonna pass, but it's in a building, in an old building of Hard Rock. That's where the delegates are staying right now. If you want to stalk them, go there and eat in the restaurant in the area. You're gonna see them. Sometimes they're gonna have breakfast all together. Of course, they have to eat. The queens need to eat, so they have to have a specific restaurant and somewhere in Hard Rock that, if you want.
Now it's not a secret anymore. We guys know where they are. It's not the Guitar Hotel. It's the other building 2, and it's coming from someone who has the inside information. Now, when they're eating, based on your experience from last year, I know you were there too with Cassini. Mm-hmm. Are they allowed to mingle with the spectator, or are you guys in a barricade?
Well, in the past, like 2019 in Atlanta, what happened in Atlanta is I also had a VIP package.
Yeah.
So we're able to have breakfast with them, talk with them. We're actually on the table with Gazzini. But I didn't stay for long because I want to have a picture with different delegates. So I keep on hopping photos. And I said, I'm not going to eat breakfast because it's too early. I'm just going to have a picture with all the delegates and talk to them. So that's what I did. And then when all the delegates left, that's the time I ate breakfast because, okay, I'm going to take my time. And
so,
all the strategy, the Filipinos, we always have a plan. So before we can definitely mingle, take a selfie, can I have a picture or group. It's no restriction, 2019. But now things change. I think it's gonna be like not only 6 feet distancing, it's gonna be far.
And
yes. And with the VIP, we have to take the PCR every day. I think by the time we check in the hotel, by the time, not on the 10th, probably where the pageant is going to happen, we're going to take our test. And if we're positive, we won't be able to sit on our VIP seat. So I have to be careful as well. So each one is careful.
Yeah, better be protected. Take those. And you had your vaccination already, right? I know we talked about.
Well, I did not.
Oh my God.
I did not. But I have my PCR test yesterday along with Miss Mauritius.
Yeah.
Because Larry said that, well, I'm not exposed. I'm just very careful. The reason why I don't want to be vaccinated because I had like some few allergies.
Yeah.
But, I'm still researching. I'm not anti-vaccine. It's just like I want to research more which one is good. And recently I had like allergy and I think I'm just busy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have to reason being busy.
Stress as well.
Yeah, so I just keep myself healthy. I bike. Well, the whole family, we bike around, take the Florida sun, take vitamins, take a lot of good stuff, healthy food. So I think that's all. That's all I did. And I mask. I never touch my face. So.
Well, before we
but
go,
I was negative, by the way, Josh.
Oh, good. I'll pray for you though, to make sure that you stay negative. This is the joke now. This is the time. Remember how sometimes before the pandemic we want to be surrounded with positive people. Now we want to be surrounded with negative people.
Yes, negative. We don't want to be positive.
With a positive headset, with a positive mindset, I guess.
Yes.
Now, before we go to the last portion of the Rabiya interview, I'd like to. This is the time that people are texting me how to get hold of you. Facebook,
Oh.
YouTube. What's your contact information? We'll repeat it later, but this is the time, Kirsten, to tell our public, our viewers online, to how to get hold of Kirsten if they want to engage your service. How do they go about that?
So you can reach me at I have a Facebook actually. The name is Kirsten Regalado, or my page is Kirsten Regalado Gowns. My Instagram is at Kirsten Regalado. My website is kirstenregalado.com. So you just message me and then I'm gonna be there right away.
Okay, and we'll make sure that we'll repeat that later. Okay, happy viewing again to Bessie Santos, Jen Co, Ate Jen, happy viewing. And then Alexander Francisco from Quezon City, Joy Asuncion from Quezon City, Lyndon Deleter from Glendale, California, Carmi is from Quezon City, Timmy Buendia Santella, Project 7, Ayin Mangalonso. Lyndon said that I guess after hearing those two segments, says I guess our country will be well represented this year. Great interview. And then John Gabriel is watching from hola, buenos dias, maybe from another country. And then Connie Ascension also. Hello to Kirsten Regalado.
Hi, Connie.
Connie Ascension. Now, question. They have a question here. Watching from St. Luke's Medical Center. Question: are her gowns, Kirsten's gown, expensive?
Well, my gowns is custom made, so it's not like an RTW price. But of course, you're gonna have a special discount from me, the listeners here at Alamba.
Put you on the spot. Another thing is, tell them if you do men's as well, because I know people think that fashion designer, that exclusively gowns and dresses for ladies, wedding gowns. But I know for a fact you do males also. You want to touch on that?
So I do menswear. Of course, I only custom made menswear, also customize it. I do Filipino Barong Tagalog. And of course, men's costume if it's needed. So anything that comes to your mind, we can always make that. We can create something.
Right, and I need to mention, Kirsten is the first one I know for a fact. When the pandemic hit, she made those, and Kirsten will show that next part 2. I want you to show that. She came out with this idea of the mask when mask was not a big thing yet. And then there was a shortage, at least for here in the States, there was a shortage of face masks. And then Kirsten, with just amazingly kind heart, she was making them, you guys, and not selling them. And we featured that in one of the shows of the network. And what she did was she was sewing them herself. She made a pattern of it, and she did boxes and boxes. And then she's even, imagine the cost for that, the labor that she put in there. And she didn't even charge fees. And we have documentation and tapes. She's even going to UPS, which is a mailing service here, and post office, and mailing it to across the states, I believe. And we'll talk about that. And for that, Kirsten, there's no word to describe your selflessness of doing that, not only for our kababayans, but also, for the countryman. And that's amazing, because I know most of the designers that I personally know here in LA or in other areas, they do the mask, but they charge $5 to $10, and I've seen $24. But you gave it free, and you did a lot of those.
Yes, I think it was the time where before pandemic hits America, it was still in Wuhan, China. Mm-hmm. My husband already mentioned to me that there's going to be a dire need for a mask. So Michael and Larry and me, we did the research, and then I did the pattern. I researched also on what kind of pattern, what kind of mask will work. Do we need to put a filter? How many layers are needed? But by the time it hits America, we already start producing masks slowly. Yeah. The thing is that there was really too much shortage of masks. Yes. Even those disposable ones, alcohol shortage, gloves shortage, even Lysol, we can't find anything. So it was like really difficult. So the stores, when you go out, it's really like a ghost town here in Miami. I remember the leaves are just falling, and the streets are empty. And before I get out of my car, I need to scan because there's no people there. But the only store that's open is the UPS and also the USPS, the Postal Service. They're open in a very limited time. So whenever I go, I let Larry know that, Dad, I'm going. Michael, I'm going. At least they know I'm outside, because it's also dangerous to go out when there's nobody there. Someone can just grab you and just put you in their van and you just disappear. But I took the risk, and then I have some materials here that's it's not the materials I have is like a filter. So we doubled. We have a triple layer, and we have this nice elastic, and we made it adjustable.
Right.
And we gave it away. So the nurses learned that we're giving out masks. They started to come in here from Jackson, Nicholas Children's Hospital. And when online, some people know, they started to send me messages privately. Some people are just ashamed to ask, but I told them, it's free. I'll pay for the postage as well. So the receipt of the USPS, I can make it as a long sash, or maybe I can make it as a gown. It was so fun. I said, Mike, film, this is so long. But it also, on the other hand, helping people, it also helped me as well. It refocused my energy of not watching too much news.
Yeah.
It made me busy creating masks. And the best thing is that I received messages from parents that their children want to make masks as well, how to use the sewing machine. So I did a little coaching online during my mini break. And then there's an organization that's more than 1,000 of them. I did the coaching and how to don the mask, how to sew, how to put everything. It was like on a Zoom. And I know Zoom become like, boom, it became famous. Everybody's in the meeting, online. So that's my experience. So I think it's on the positive note. And I'm very grateful for all our frontliners and police officers. Actually, they know me. I become friends with a lot of police officers here in Miami as well.
Yeah, like what I said, you're the first one, and I've been around. You're the first one that has done that, the mask, without charging for anything, and it's just amazing. And I'd like to publicly acknowledge for you, Larry, Doc Larry, as well as Michael, for being so generous, and that's it gives faith to humanity that there's still good people around that think of them, not of themselves but for other people. And that's officially and publicly, you need to be acknowledged for that. Not that you need it, but thank you on behalf of everybody that you have helped. And look what you did with Team Philippines. It's out of nowhere, and you are doing it generously. And that's how I know you guys. And it never failed. I mean, whether it's me, my team, or the other people, and humanity, the Regalados is always there, and it's just amazing. And you guys are really ideal family, and I am so blessed to get to know you guys. And I consider you my extended Florida family.
Oh, thanks be to God, Joss. We're just very grateful.
Yeah, amazing. Anyway, before we promise the last portion of that, and we'll briefly talk about that after we show the last portion of the interview, the Michael interview with Rabiya, Mateo, and let's do that now, and then we'll come back and we'll do the end spill.
I would like you to address your Filipino fans. There's a lot of them out there in Tagalog, please, if you'd like to send a message. Yeah.
Sa mga kababayan natin all over the universe, thank you so much for supporting me, and please continue to pray for me. I know life is not easy. for the past 2 years, but we need to continue to aspire to become more, even in the most difficult times of our life. And I hope that we still continue to become a medium and to channel blessings by doing some little ways, something to offer to our community. Let's continue to do that. And sana po, suportahan nyo ako sa padating na May 16, US date yon, and May 17 siya ipapalabas sa Philippines. Join me as we conquer the universe. I will do my best to give a good fight, and hopefully I make you all proud. Maraming salamat.
That's a great message. And one last question. I know that you're a proud Ilongga. What would you say is your favorite word or phrase in Hiligaynon?
In Hiligaynon, my favorite word is padayon, which means continue.
That's a good one.
Because sometimes you are placed in the situation where you feel like you have no option at all, where you are stagnant. But all you need to think is continue, padayon in life. There's only one way, and that is onwards.
Awesome. That's Miss Philippines, Rabiya. Thank you so much for joining, and please support her. Tune in and watch May 16th for her debut in Miss Universe.
Thank you, Michael.
Hello, Rabiya.
Hi, Michael.
Thank you so much that we have the opportunity to have this chat with each other.
Well, thank you for having.
Wow. Again, thank you, Kirsten, for doing that. Michael, John, thank you so much. And the videographer, Diane Bugay, thank you so much. We would not be able to do that without your help. And then, Kirsten, can you tell us again your contact information?
So KirstenRegalado.com. In Facebook, it's Kirsten Regalado Gowns or Kirsten Regalado. You can message me on Messenger. My Instagram is @KirstenRegalado.com. Follow me.
Okay, before we close though, more hellos. Hello, Anyong and Miss Kirsten from Parañaque. Hello.
Oh, hello.
And then this is from Ayin Mangalonso. And then people watching, then Lyndon says, kudos to all men and women of UPS and USPS. Thank you, Miss Kirsten. Then Rita Regalado, I guess your aunt.
That's the sister of Larry.
Okay. Hi, Rita. Thanks for watching. She said, good job, keep going. We are proud of your good work. We love you. And then, of course, before we end, please do support Rabiya. Like I was talking to Kirsten earlier, I think the other day. Miss Universe now, you could vote. You could go to their website. You could vote for her because if God forbid she didn't make it to the top 15, there's a possibility of them to get into top 16 if you vote. But the difference though this year was there's vote free for one, and then for the rest of the votes there's a small fee. But we need to make sure that Rabiya gets in there. Let's not be comfortable and thinking, she's Philippines and she's a powerhouse. You cannot let her fail. She's carrying, like what she said, she's carrying the sash that says Philippines. Regardless where you are, all Filipinos abroad, people from the Philippines, we need to support. We're giving everything that we can to support her. I think we have the good candidate. She's fighting for us, and she's fighting to bring the 5th crown to the Philippines, the Miss Universe crown, and it will be another record for us, and we need that. We need good news. Then, again, alam mo ba, with Just Andowitt is on Fridays at 9 p.m. and Saturdays, 12 noon in Manila. And you could always watch us live on Facebook, YouTube, and the Amazon Fire TV channel. And then you could watch us also live streaming on PHL radio app. And then if you have Alexa, just say play PHLD radio. And it's a station that is 24/7, and we have different shows and different interests. And you can just log into their website. And if you missed it, there'll be a replay and then you could make comments as well, and then let other people know that there is a show now that will give you the right information. We will clear all the fake news, and that's what that we're hoping. And before we end, I like what said all the time. Any last word from you, Kirsten? Again, thank you so much for being our guest. I know I'm keeping you up. Kirsten is in Florida. It is like almost 3 a.m. there, and this is live.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I didn't feel the time pass. You know, we're having a great time here, Josh.
It's 10:40 here, and then of course they always manage to give me an overtime, and they don't cut it. And thank you, Johan, PHLV, for being so generous with the time. But Kirsten, I cannot express more gratitude than what I can say in words. You've been very, very kind, not only a friend, but you're very selfless about sharing materials, doing a lot for the Filipino community, doing a lot for this station. Maraming salamat, and looking forward for our part 2 next week. We'll talk more about what's going on, the Miss Universe, because it's a Miss Universe fever across the globe, especially for Filipinos. Any last word for our audience?
Well, thank you so much for having me. Hello to everyone. Follow Just Andowitt. Alam mo ba? I love the show. I had a blast. Please don't forget to support our Miss Philippines, Rabiya, Mateo. And of course, those that are watching on the arena and on live at Hard Rock, please support also some of our candidates. Is Armenia, Iceland, Mauritius. They all need your support. So we're gonna have a fun and have a blast, everyone.
Awesome. And then we'll wait for your materials on Miss Iceland and all those, and we'll feature them next week, like I promised, because we want to make sure, like what you mentioned earlier in the interview, we will show the Filipino hospitality that as much as we support Rabiya 110, 150%, we do acknowledge to the presence of the other countries that they're competing also. Like Iceland, I know Iceland's very pretty, and then with your help and all that, I know they could get into one of those slots too that can give them the crown.
Yeah,
so,
correct.
Again, everyone, my last word to you, like what I've said last week, please be kind. You cannot ever go wrong with kindness. So maraming salamat for tuning in. I know it's been a long day, but again, maraming salamat, Kirsten. Maraming salamat, the world, from Philippines to North America, South America, Qatar, Middle East. Maraming salamat. We're signing off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye, Kristen. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Love you guys.
Your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.